Drop the brace.
Hey guys, Mike here from Fullhousers, and this is part 17 of my Road to Max Cape. I am sitting here doing what I usually do, a little bit of bonfiring after a long week, and after a long weekend especially, because this last weekend was a double experience weekend, and my god, I played so much. Me and all of the people at Full House RS, as well as some people that aren't technically in Full House RS, we pretty much stayed up the entire 24 hours on the first day, and most of the day on the second day. The third day kind of got cut short because, people had things to do. But boy, did we sure got a lot of experience out of it, especially a few people in our group who went batshit crazy on summoning. But, that didn't mean I didn't get some XP. If you can see my cape right here, I went ahead and went all out on just spending as much money as I could to get crafting done and over with while I could get the double experience. If you could see there, I actually got so much experience that I actually had bonus experience left over after 99. So I'm going to have to get around to using that. It's not a big deal considering crafting is still the most expensive. It's still something good to use the bonus experience on. I'm not too worried about having extra experience after that. But it was nice to get that over with, especially since it is the most expensive skill to actually get finished. And with that crossed off my list, it's a pretty good burden lifted off my shoulders. There's still plenty of other things I need to do. But another thing I did accomplish later in the week after Double Experience Weekend was I did also get 99 Strength while I was working on Slayer. So that means that I am 200 combat now, and that's pretty nice. Before that task, I also got my first Razorback Gauntlets, which was pretty nice as well. So it was like a double goodness of that little achievement. And I guess Jagex just wanted to make that day feel special for some odd reason. But other than crafting this weekend, I guess I didn't really get as much stuff done as I wanted to. I did get my summoning up to 94, which I was wanting to get 95, but it turns out I couldn't afford 95 because I wanted to make sure that I could have enough for crafting, so I cut back on some of the summoning that I could buy, and in the end I could have bought the summoning if I wanted to, and it just ended up not. But I'm okay with 94. I have the charms to get 95, so I need to work on getting the charms to push past that 95 and get to 96 so I can finally get my yak and not have to worry about Sir Pigglesworth, or I don't even know what I've named my pig. Sure, I should name him Sir Showersworth, but no, I'm not 96 yet on that, and I didn't get all of my fletching done that I wanted. I got one level, and then the system update hit that took the servers offline during Double Experience Weekend right at the end of it, and I didn't feel like staying up an extra 2 hours after that, so I just went to sleep, and I said, you know what, I've gotten enough experience, and that is good enough for me. Unfortunately, other than the weekend, there hasn't been much progress made. I've mostly just been doing a little bit of Slayer, and not too hardcore, but just enough to, I've pretty much been sticking to Slayer whenever I come on. I sometimes go and do skilling like that, I do fletching. I actually went and woodcut it a little bit, which is weird, considering I haven't woodcut it in quite a while. But it's pretty nice. I still enjoy woodcutting, so it's a good break from everything. But I definitely am planning on getting my next 99 being Slayer as my next planned 99. But the thing is I'm pretty sure attack is going to get 99 next. So I guess I'll have my next 99 as attack, and then the 99 after that will be Slayer. But if I want to think of what goals I have to plan for myself in the very far off future, at least what is going to be after Slayer, I would probably pick fire making, as it is getting closer and closer. But fire making really is just something I use my maples on when I don't have anything else to do. So it's slowly going to get there, but I don't know if I'm ever going to just sit down and get it. It could always be a thing that I just go ahead and sit down and get, or it could not as well. And Dungeoneering, I've of course wanted to get that up to 110, but then, some people that wanted to DG didn't, and then some people that didn't want to DG want to when I'm not wanting to DG, and it's just hard to get a good rhythm going at the moment. but that will eventually get taken care of, and it's not like DG is going to be hard to get. It's just going to take, a few weeks of constant dungeoneering, but I can handle that. And I guess one thing I could say after Slayer, I could definitely see getting 99 Prayer. I have around 96, maybe almost 97 in the bones, and I could easily buy 99 right now. But with Slayer, you get a lot of prayer experience from using urns or for using Bone Crusher and similar things like that. And plus, you get bones with it, especially if you get a QBD task like I was getting before. You get a ton of bones from that. But even just from regular dragon tasks, it's if you bank the bones, I have that for the prayer. But I could definitely see me getting that. I'm just going to hold off until I get 99 Slayer, and then after that, it's all free game. But the big thing about this Road to Max is it's actually the end of February, which is an even number month. And as I said, as an even number month, I would do a full bank check every even numbered month. So I'm going to cut to me actually putting stuff in my bank, and I will come back when it is completely tabulated. Alright, so with all those items in my bank tallied up through the price checker, which can get a little bit winded, but you know, I sped it up a little bit there, well, quite a bit there actually, just to make this video not quite as long as it could be. We get to a total of 701 mil, 701.8 mil, and that is amazing. That is almost 100 mil more than my last bank check, but even more than that, it's actually probably 200 mil more or 250 mil more, because I did spend a shit ton of it on crafting. And by shit ton, I mean like 150 or something. Not to mention some of the other things that I bought on top of that. So it's not. It seems like I didn't make as much as I did from the previous Road to Max to the last bank check. But it's actually quite a bit more with all the stuff that I have actually bought. There's a lot of Bibles getting just finished up, so I don't have to worry about them later. But I will also admit that I did take a pretty good hit from Barrow's items dropping, especially the Aram's Wand and Book, which is obvious why, because the Abyssal Wand and Orb came out, it instantly dropped. But I never planned to sell the Aram Wand or Book that I have right now, either of them, so I didn't really want to sell them either way, even when I knew they were going to crash. The Virtus book also took a little bit of a hit. It never recovered from when it got nerfed, quote unquote. So it's down pretty much as well. And then I think I should make note of one more thing, which I will also gonna make note if I make another Barrows video when I finally get around to it, is I did cash out all of these bolt racks. If you look at my last video, I had around 41,000 of them or something like that. And I'll just show you right here if you take a quick look at the price checker on these things. When I did that Barrows video, they were 430 something each or something like that. And if I check them now, they are 1.06. I cashed them out for 1 mil, I cashed them out for 1K each, so I've actually lost a little bit of money. But I was worried that they were going to dip as soon as people thought Legacy wasn't going to be as great as it was supposed to be. And so I may have misread that, but I wanted to cash out a little bit early. And that actually means that bolt racks are probably the best thing about Barrows at the moment. Normal Barrows, that is. And that's kind of funny, in fact, because bolt racks were actually one of the troll items when I started doing normal Barrows on this account. So it's cool to see that Barrows gets a little extra life to it, so it's a little extra GP added to it, even though it had a lot taken away from the Aram's Book and Wand. And funny enough, that actually means that Carol's Pistol main hand crossbow is the most expensive Barrows item now. One other thing I want to mention about items changing, this is very odd, but if you look at freaking Guthan's Spear, it is now almost 2.1 mil, which is a mil more than my last bank check. That I don't even understand why. I guess because people like Guthan's Barrows pets? That's the only thing I can think of. Or maybe, I guess people do use it for Corp, right? But do people really do Corp anymore? I don't really know. But I thought that was pretty odd. So overall, a lot of it has been from my bank just getting... Most of the items in my bank have just lowered in price, and my Drygores actually went up during that last video that I did, the bank check, but on this one it stayed pretty much the same. I don't know how those are going to go, but I never plan on selling the Drygores, so I guess that doesn't really matter in the long run. It feels good to know how much money I have in my bank, and hopefully in my next video, which will be in April, I will be able to have a lot more money. I'm actually wanting to shoot for 1 bill by April, but that is very tough considering I'm going to also want to get a lot of more Bibles done. But anything's really possible. If I could get going with some certain bosses, or if a new boss comes out and I get lucky at that, I could get a lot of money really quickly. But yeah, this video is already running on long, so I want to thank you guys for watching, and until my next episode, this is Mike from Full House RS, and I'll see you next time.